Hollywood celebrities that are suffering with Trump derangement syndrome are going to be kicking it into high gear in the next couple of weeks with the inauguration on the 20th. They're kind of laying low right now, so we're having to go back into the archives and seeing what these head cases have been talking about for years at this point in time, and nobody is more ripe for inspection than Mark Ruffalo. If there are rumors that are out there and reason to believe that, yeah, he's going to be reprising the role of the Hulk, maybe in like a certain web-slinging superheroes, third, fourth outing or something like that in the near future. We should be hearing news of that sometime soon-ish, but I digress. Mark Ruffalo, he's one of social media's most insufferable lefties and one of the most overrated actors in history. I mean, he's decent at what he does, but for anybody to try to, claim that he's amazing, like he's definitely a downgrade from Edward Norton when it comes to Hulk, but he's probably a little bit easier to deal with because Edward Norton, famously a dickhead, but he's also famously talented. Mark Ruffalo, on the other hand, is like, what's his defining performance? It's like, I don't really know why he's regarded as such. But anyways, Ruffalo has been far more infamous for his posts on social media as opposed to his portrayal of the Hulk in the MCU in recent years, mostly because, well, Hulk, thanks to being, stuck in rights hell for as long as it has been reduced to being a side character in Thor and also in She-Hulk, which, remember, that was the thing, season 2, any day now. But something that is also going to kick into high gear alongside Trump derangement syndrome for the next 4 years and the next couple of weeks will also be Elon Musk derangement syndrome. EDS, RDS, Rocket Man derangement syndrome. And because the two were so closely tied at the hip, and due to his youth and exuberance to lend himself to public life, Elon Musk is going to be enemy numero uno moving forward. Hopefully he learns from his spat with the H-1B visa situation, which, if he wasn't tweeting like a 14-year-old girl in the aftermath of having a terrible take on that, which kind of highlighted how he has like a surface understanding of certain things, but he very much wants to dig his heels in and be right about things. It's like, yeah, in principle, the H-1B visa idea is great because you can go ahead and, you can select for the top 1% of people that are out there to fill the very important positions that you need. But in practice, it's a horrible way to legally prescribe mass immigration. Good idea in principle, good idea on paper, terrible in practice. But that's another topic for another time. We're talking about Mark Ruffalo attacking Elon Musk and resurface meltdown claims we are the ones to believe in. Oh no, he's having a mainstream media type meltdown. Oh no, in a recently resurfaced meltdown that's making the rounds on social media. Actor and activist, Mark Ruffalo melted down at tech mogul Elon Musk, addressing concerns over climate issues and perceived changes in Musk's public persona. Oh, okay, that's a little strange, but all right. During a widely circulated video posted on social media platform X before 2024 presidential election, Ruffalo did not mince words, labeling Musk a two-faced turncoat traitor. Okay, he even criticized the ex and Tesla owner for losing his South African accent. It's something, that naturally happens. When you live in the West for as long as he had, because when did he emigrate to North America? Because made a quick pit stop in Canada before he ended up in Silicon Valley, part of the PayPal mafia in early 2019, or I'm sorry, in the early 90s, early 2019. No, he was very much established by that point in time, but no, he was down there working on his X project all the way back in the cut before he teamed up with Peter Thiel and the rest of those guys. Ended up changing the course of online history. So yeah, the fact that he kind of has a non-regional dialect now, it would serve because he's been around those types of people for a long time. I'm just saying. But yeah, we got that clip right here. Okay. Mark Ruffalo has a meltdown and says that people should listen to him instead of Elon Musk. This is the woke mind virus. Oh yeah, it's something.
Elon Musk is such a two-faced turncoat traitor because he was a climate champion.
Yeah, he still is. He still makes electric vehicles, like the most popular ones in the world. But this is why, man, okay? This is why the left will hate Elon Musk more than they even hate Trump. If given enough opportunity, let me explain. Because they perceive him as a traitor. He was one of them. He was at all their parties. He was in Iron Man 2, for Christ's sakes. He made a cameo. We let you into the club, and then you had an errant thought of your own. You had individual thoughts and ideas. We can't allow that. That's why we need to destroy you. That's the woke mind virus. No. That's in-group, out-group biases played to the extreme.
And he sold himself out. for a buck and some power.
No, he's the richest man on earth. I don't really need to think that he needs to get any Trump bucks. I just kind of think that he ended up getting radicalized, not so much by Trump, but by people like you, Mark. Okay, look in the mirror the moment that you step off the plantation just a little bit, because in reality, okay, Elon Musk has kind of always been this guy. It's just your side of the aisle has gotten far more radical. So he really is that classic example of the left just continuing to spiral into the left, and most people kind of just staying exactly where they are. And you got the right encroaching and moving slowly and closer to the center and closer to the left, just going, hey, what are you doing over here? Nothing really very much. Okay, I used to be with them, but they're over there, just shouting at trees and wondering why windmills aren't here instead of actual functioning natural gas plants. But that's why they're so incensed, because the left does have this right. Okay, progress is inevitable. We're always tumbling towards the next thing. It's just, how do we get to that next thing? They're far more radical this time around. Okay, over the past 20 years, they have laid bare just their exponential will to make great leaps forward whenever given the opportunity, whereas conservatives are maybe a little bit more reasonable in understanding the situation and trying to plan for it accordingly. Yeah, it would be nice to, harness energy and have this evergreen, completely green ability to, lay down a panel and then just have constant power harnessed from the sun. It's a pipe dream that we'll eventually get to, but at this point in time, the most profitable, reliable, and competent way to power society is with oil and gas. You want to go ahead and work towards that new future? 1000%. You just need to be able to fund the way in order to get there. You need to be able to employ enough of your population and give them meaning and purpose and the ability to put a roof over their head before you start making these lofty societal transformations. But I suppose that's a little bit too complex for old Mark here.
Don't follow that guy. That guy doesn't even have his original accent anymore. Don't follow him. Don't listen to him. We're the ones who we have to believe in. We're the ones who we're waiting for, and we are the ones that have to move forward together.
Yeah, we're the sensible ones. We're the reasonable ones. Okay there, Mark. Okay. Criticized Musk, yes, for perceived a departure from the original stance on climate advocacy, stating Elon Musk is such a two-faced turncoat traitor. Yeah, we listen to all that crap. The statement left many viewers puzzled, particularly regarding Ruffalo's reference to "we're the ones." Yeah, exactly. Ruffalo and everybody else in his echo chamber. Makes sense, right? Speculation abound as to whether Ruffalo was addressing Hollywood celebrities. Very much so. Wasn't he a part of that Kamala Harris, the Avengers Assemble endorsement ad? He was very much a part of the, make sure that you mask up because the Avengers took some White House money in order to get together and tell you we're all in this together. Some of us are more in it together by force as opposed to, I'll just be over here quarantining in my massive, luxurious mansion. Climate change activists, yes, the general public, or another group entirely. Of course, Ruffalo is no stranger to outspoken activism. Over the years, he's been a prominent voice in environmental movements. His activism extends beyond climate issues, encompassing political and social justice causes. Yeah, I mean, wasn't that, last year? Yeah, I think that was last year. Ruffalo's recent outburst reminds me of one of his social media fits following the U.S. Supreme Court's 6-3 decision granting former presidents immunity, from criminal prosecutions over official acts during their tenure. The actor expressed his disapproval by drawing parallels to historical events, posting on X. Just for the record, history is repeating itself. Yes, because, the mustache man in mid-century Germany, he did a thing. And because Austrian painters like water and Trump drunk from a glass. Kind of funny ones. Don't you see the parallels? History is repeating itself again. He accompanied the post, with a reference to 1933 German Enabling Act, which granted the chief executive unmatched powers to create and enforce his own laws, which is exactly that's what Trump has done so far, right? All right, he hasn't even started his second term. Did he do that during the first one? The history, whatever. Ruffalo appeared to suggest that SCOTUS ruling undermined democratic checks and balances in a way, similar to that of World War II style Germany. Let's go with that one. This comparison was met with criticism from various quarters, including former Star Wars actress Gina Carano, who's like, no, Mark, keep on making those parallels because that just makes my lawsuit even stronger. God, I forgot about that for a quick second. God, 2025 is going to be the shits for Disney, not just at the box office, but also in the courtroom. Carano, who previously, yes, has been terminated by Disney for sharing a meme that likened the treatment of conservatives in a modern America to that of, yes, the only persecuted group literally ever, and they have certain jackboot organizations that'll make sure that that's always the reinforced case. Shut out ADL. I responded to Ruffalo statements on X, double standards on full display, constant, an obvious elephant in the room in Hollywood. There is example after example, such as Mark Ruffalo's below that prove this, whom, by the way, I believe should have the right to express himself without getting fired, although I cringe at most all of his political posts. He's an actor, but he is a human being, passionately engaging in something that he feels strongly about. It must be a nice feeling to express yourself so freely. Yeah, exactly. Carano is currently suing the Walt Disney Company for wrongful termination and discrimination. She's backed in this lawsuit by none other than Elon Musk. So yeah, it's funny how all of this stuff ends up coming full circle, and how Elon Musk's political ascendancy is somehow going to coincide with Mark Ruffalo and several other Hollywood celebrities finding a lot more free time on their hands as a bunch of other companies reshuffle the deck heading out of the pandemic and strike period, figuring out where the chips are ultimately going to lie now in the wake of the streaming bubble ultimately bursting. All of those investor dollars seemingly drying up, and wondering who is important and who is necessary in the business. People who are political liabilities, like Mark Ruffalo, like Rachel Zegler, who's really going to drive home that point in March, underscoring how a politically divisive star will end up tanking a project, and whether or not studios are risking $200-300 million of budget on somebody who is so toxic to half of the country, half of the world, if we're being completely honest, because these political beliefs aren't necessarily confined to the United States. I, as a Canadian, also find Mark Ruffalo completely and totally detestable. It's going to be a year of learning, but it's also going to be a year of hilarity, because if the Rocket Man simply existing can make you that upset, brother, we haven't even seen the best meltdowns yet. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.